So you let them feel that, and that will. It's a tough line. I mean, it's a tough road to walk. What is it that I can change, and what is it that I can't change in this person's life right here and right now, or in the lives of those of my community? And it takes perhaps some discernment. And in discernment, there's usually a prayer for clarity, at least in my life. I love a prayer for clarity. You know, before I step into this room and talk about anything, I pray for clarity. I want something to come forward that makes it possible for me to connect with you in the right way. I'm not trying to tell you what to think, and believe me, I don't even want to do that, but I want to open up through these talks the possibility for you to change in a way that makes sense in your life. I don't enforce change. I don't judge you for who you are. I don't look at you and say, not enough change today. No, this is all up to you. It's your life. I let you. So this is what I always say about these things. Get some clarity around it, align with spirit, do the right thing. Do the next indicated thing for you. Great question. What a question. I think I went about 5 minutes on that, maybe even 6, huh? 4:27, 4 minutes and 27 seconds. It sure seemed like longer than that, didn't it? But I'll tell you why I like 427. Let me tell you why I like 427. 427 is Jackie's birthday. April 27th, 427. It seems like I'm always seeing the clock at 427. 4:27. I wake up in the middle of the night, it says 4:27. But yes, soon to be the birthday girl around here. And birthdays are great, aren't they, Norma? I mean, they're a year-long expression of love. They truly are. So we got some singing to do, you guys. Come on up.
You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. I am the face of God. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. You are my family. You are the face of love. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God.
For the daily word, on this glorious Easter morning, I rise. Just as Jesus transcended death, turning pain into light, into joy, I too have the power to rise above any challenge. When I feel defeated, I rise. When I stumble, I rise. When sorrow weighs heavily, I rise. Each rising is proof that resurrection is a divine energy pulsing through every heartbeat and breath. This Easter, I behold with awe every sign of life's renewing presence. A kind word, a morning breeze, a generous impulse, a wave of gratitude. All are glimpses of Easter's restoring power, lifting me higher. Easter is not just Jesus' story, it is mine too, all of ours. His resurrection is a reminder that the power to rise above struggle and limitation is alive in me. I am a new creation. I rise. So in the Bible verse today, so if anyone is in Christ, there is a new creation. Everything old has passed away. Look, new things have come into being. Second chapter of Corinthians, paragraph 5, verse 17.
This is the meditation portion of our service. So let's get comfortable, sit back in your seats, wiggle around a bit, and know that you are in the perfect place right now. This seat is talking to you and beckoning you to just sink in. And the beautiful gravity of this earth is holding you together, and you're good. And you're solid, and you are whole. Let's take a nice deep cleansing breath in together, and release. And as I said earlier in the praying, my breath is God's breath. Your breath is God's breath. You are already whole and complete in the one power of the Creator of the creation that is. And we are all interconnected. This is also the message of Easter. Easter has so many beautiful messages. So let's take another deep cleansing breath in and release. And drop your shoulders just a bit. And continue to breathe comfortably and easily. And you may close your eyes if you're comfortable with that. And let's know this, that God's joy, God's good, God's peace is here. And it is yours right here and right now. Always is, always has been available to you. And let's drop our shoulders again just a bit as we exhale. And know that the wholeness, the allness of the God presence, of the Christ presence, of the Buddha presence, the one God with so many names, so many religions, and they all have a core of good and unity and love. Let's continue to breathe gently and know that the message of Easter is eternal life. There's no beginning and no end. You always have been, and you will always continue to be. This is just a stopping ground, a type of school. And we know that we are all interconnected. And because this is the truth about us, every human being is a light. We can send light to someone across the world, and we don't even have to know their name or know who they are, but we can, in consciousness, send someone in China, in Brazil, whatever place you pick, send love and light to that human being, and they will feel a shift. That's how powerful we are. It's a type of quantum physics. You know, we can move particles, so we can connect with anyone, with strangers, It doesn't matter because we are all one. We are all the same. And this oneness is brought about in Easter. So let's take that 18-inch journey. It's a journey from the head, which is the ABCs, 1, 2, 3's logic, which we do need to live here in this place that we are. But let's bring our attention slowly. Let's go down from our head to our heart. Just travel an inch at a time, just slowly. Behind your eyes, behind your nose, go through your throat, top of the throat, bottom of the throat, esophagus, and travel down to your heart space. And open up your heart to all the good, all the love, all the joy that is available to you. It's always there, always has been. The peace and the calm and the knowing. And know that you know that you know. Oh, I don't know this. Yes. Shift that thought and say, I know within, deep within, I am guided. Deep within, I am already whole and complete in the light of God. I am the light of God. Easter is about the I am that I am. Our sacred connection to the divine. And let's go into the, let's go into the silence for about 2 minutes with the I am that I am. And fill yourself with light. Now gently come back to the sanctuary. Wiggle your hands, your toes. God's love lives within you as the I am that I am. Easter is a reminder of the eternal flame that we are. We live forever. God always is, and we are one in God. The I am that I am. Thank you, God. Thank you, blessed Spirit. Thank you, infinite wisdom in me and in you and in all things. And so it is. Amen.
I'm not a stranger to the dark. Hide away, they say. We don't want your broken parts. I've learned to be ashamed of all my scars. Hide away, they say. We won't love you as you are, but I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us. For we are glorious. When the sharpest words want to cut me down, I'm gonna send a flood, gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me, look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen. I make no apologies. This is me. Oh, 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 oh. Another round of bullets hits my skin. Well, fire away, 'cause today I won't let the pain sink in. We are bursting through the barricades and reaching towards the sun. We got warriors, yeah, that's how we'll become. I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us. For we are glorious. When the sharpest words want to cut me down, I'm gonna send a flood, gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me, look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen, I make no apologies. This is me. When the sharpest words want to cut me down, I'm gonna send a flood, gonna drown them out. This is brave, this is bruised, this is who I'm meant to be. This is me.
Thank you, Charlotte. That was great. Appreciate it very, very much. Mitch, you are amazing. You're always amazing. I know you're the glue that keeps every song together that we sing here at Unity of Pasadena, and I appreciate it very, very much. Yeah. I love Easter, and it's not just because I love Sundays and Easter falls on Sundays. I love Easter because there's a message in it that is for everyone. And it doesn't matter whether you're Christian, whether you're Jewish, whether you are Islamic, Muslim. It doesn't matter whether you're a Buddhist or a Hindu. Does not matter whether you're a Rosicrucian or just secular. There's a story that will fit you and your life. There's something in this Easter story that just rings so true. And that something is the thing that's happening every single day, that we're becoming something new each and every day we wake up. The story is that our greater yet to be is in front of us, and we need to awaken to it. We need to leave the tomb in order to do so, though. We have to get up and get out of that tomb in order to do so. But it becomes necessary when we well, why don't I just borrow from a very, very bright man who gave all of us this information, and that was Einstein. And I think he said something like, you can't solve a problem at the level of thinking that created the problem. You can't do that. I mean, if you're gonna try and solve a problem at the level of thinking that created the problem, then all you're gonna do is get more of that problem. And I think that that's the story in a nutshell. That's the Jesus story in a nutshell. That's why the Jesus story is so exciting, because it brings a new way of thinking that changes people's behavior, that changes the way people commune with one another, that changes the way people interact with one another, and that brings about magnificent communities for the benefit of one another. And so when Jesus took his first breath in Bethlehem, there was something new starting. There was a new idea, a new way of being on its way. And we could tell that there were some new things that were going to be done when he started to do things as an adult that nobody else was doing. I mean, he was eating meals with people who were to be shunned. He was attending to lepers whom nobody wanted to be around. He was doing the healing for people who weren't necessary. God calling, yes, this is the resurrection through technology. And so, he was doing a bunch of different things, doing some different things to get a different result, because the type of lifestyle that was being lived and the type of oppression that was being brought forth was certainly not acceptable in those days. And so something new had to be done. And of course, the people wanted a Messiah. The people wanted a warrior. The people wanted somebody who would come in and absolutely undo all of the things, the oppression and suppression of people's rights and abilities to exist in a free society. They wanted that done through a warring effort, but that's not what happened. And Jesus brought something completely different. He's known as the Prince of Peace. Even though the death was violent, his intention was to bring about a new way of being, because war doesn't create peace. Violence does not bring about peace. And so something new was happening because the old wasn't working. And that happens in our lives a lot. It can show up in our lives that something isn't working and a change needs to be made. Most of you know that I'm Greg 4.0. I'll get from behind this podium here so I can kind of connect in a little better way. I'm Greg 4.0, meaning my first professional duties were aligned with the law. I was a lawyer for many years, and moved into a Greg 2.0 when I became an addiction specialist, a member of the healthcare community. Somebody who worked with people who had mental illness and substance use disorders. That was Greg 2.0. Greg 3.0 was to become the CEO of hospitals and institutions that dealt with those people that were shunned by the community, that people saw as a danger. I opened up brand new facilities in areas where that new thinking was absolutely necessary. And the corporation was called Social Science Services, Inc., and we expanded quickly because there was a great need for the services in that particular area, which is known as the Inland Empire. It's out in the Fontana, San Bernardino, Riverside area. A lot of low-income people live out there. And so Greg 3.0 became the CEO of Social Science Services and immediately saw that there was a need to bring services out into the community. And we became shunned like the lepers. The community did not want us there. No matter what community we went to, they did not want us there. They saw danger in mental health issues. They had fear around being near people who were trying to work their way into a brand new life as a result of addiction or some sort of other discord that did not allow them to live life in a way that really made sense. And so there was great fear in the communities. And every community I went to, I would go into that community and we would hold a kind of a town hall. And each community that I went to hold those town halls, I had to be escorted out by sheriffs. Well, it's the outpouring of a feeling which is expressed through NIMBY, not in my backyard. I mean, yes, I want help for people, but can't you find someplace else? Can't you find some other place to do this? And so I remember distinctly that it was difficult, and that difficulty led me to want to get away from time to time. And so what I did was I would change into my hiking clothes, leave my office, drive over to this mountain. I called it a mountain. It really was only about 2,000 feet high, maybe even a little bit less, more of a hill. And I would start to climb it. And I climbed it the first time and didn't make it all the way to the top because, interestingly enough, some of these hills/mountains, you get to the first peak and you think you're there, and you peek your head over it, and there's another peak ahead of you, and then you get over that peak, and there's another one ahead of you, and you go, oh my gosh, I don't know if I have enough time today to do this. So I didn't quite make it all the way up there, but I realized that this was going to be a place that would give me some peace and comfort and solace, and maybe even allow me to see some things that I hadn't seen before. And boy, was I right, because when I finally got to the top of that mountain after many, many tries, I saw an area that I could not see from the ground floor. You see, from up there, I didn't see those people yelling at me and telling me that we don't want you in our neighborhood. Up there, I could see a city that was rural in nature, but it was set forth in a way that had order. The streets were going in a particular direction. I could see the downtown area, and all those streets led to the downtown area. And there were farms, dairies, and all sorts of other little businesses that were being run on properties in these particular areas. I could see it all. I could see up to the mountains where they had built dams to keep the water from flooding the area, where they had made beautiful concrete creek beds so that the creek did not spread out and cover the houses with water and flood everybody out. I could see that care was taken to create a community, and I started to feel that those people that were yelling at us didn't know us well enough and didn't know that we were also trying to take care of a community. And so from that mountain, I could see things that I couldn't see down on the ground level. I could feel things I couldn't feel when I was down on that ground level. And so, in a sense, when I was climbing that mountain to a new level of thinking, that was the truth. Climbing that mountain to a new level of thinking. And I'm going to stop the story right there for a moment and tell you what you've been doing, too, over this Lenten season. You see, we've been climbing a mountain, too. We've been climbing a mountain to a new level of thinking. You see, we've been reimagining things during Lent. You've listened to us talk about reimagining life. Reimagine suffering to experience. reimagining heartache and heartbreak and difficulties to opportunities. Reimagining not only our lives in every way possible, but reimagining the power behind our lives themselves, the power that we hold to make change a part of our lives. We reimagined our identity, and our personal identity and that of our community. And we reimagined forgiveness as a way of being as opposed to a transactional event. So we've been reimagining ourselves in ways that Jesus reimagined himself when dealing with the community. Believe me, all of these things were running through my mind when I'm up on top of the mountain. How do I reimagine this relationship that we have with these various communities? And it hit me. Well, we've got to become a part of the community in ways that really make sense to them. So we held car washes for free and said, bring your car in and you're going to meet the people. Bring your car in and we'll wash your car. We held open houses where people could come in and actually see the facilities and see that they were places of love and caring. That what we were really doing was working with maybe your daughter or maybe your son, or at least there'd be a place for them if something necessary needed to be done for them. What we were doing was working with maybe Uncle John, who couldn't get out of bed for a month, was suffering from an intense depression or maybe even anxiety from his workplace that led him to drinking too much, a little alcohol misuse perhaps, a little drug use, a little drug abuse, a little homelessness here and there, a smattering of life. And people could see that they were not in that space of homelessness or alcoholism or living a life of deceit when they were with us. They were learning a new way of being. And they were courageous in the way that they were learning this new way of being. They were there to change. And all of a sudden, people started to see who we were in this community, that we were here to be a helping hand in the community, not somebody that should be feared, but somebody that probably could use a helping hand from them. And it started to change the way people felt about driving by our facility even. And so the police were called less often because, fear will cause somebody to call the police just because you're afraid of what might be happening. Oh, there's a person standing out in front of my house. That does happen. It does happen. It's not the fault of social science services. We're here to help. The people that we're helping are going to become a part of your community because they already are, but the dysfunction that they were engaging in was not helpful for them or the community. We were trying to fix that. As I stood on top of that mountain, as I had that Easter altitude, that higher altitude, I realized that what we were doing there really mirrored what Jesus was doing. Not that, we were Jesus Christ, in corporate clothing, but it mirrored what Jesus did in bringing a new way of thinking, bringing the community together, healing people, feeding people, having compassion for people, not judging people, but bringing them to a new life, a new way of thinking. And all of that, I gotta say, was a foundation for me wanting to step into a place like this, where I could actually talk about it, and talk about it in ways that you can't talk about from a secular corporate office. I mean, it's really an outpicturing of my own greater yet to be. We're all engaged in moving toward our greater yet to be. What an amazing journey for each and every one of us. And what do we bring to bear for that next level thinking? We bring an altitude, a much higher altitude, to our change process when we start out with something like kindness, for crying out loud, kindness. I mean, can we just be kind? You know what being kind to somebody brings? Kindness in return. Just be a loving presence. Do you know what a loving presence does? It just dissipates all the violent thinking and activities. Being a loving presence is something that can change the world. If a community is a loving presence, don't you think it can change a community? And you know, as I stand here today, this is an incredibly prescient subject because, you know, religions and churches themselves are sort of faltering a little bit. It doesn't matter what you do, what denomination you are, whether you're a Christian or a Muslim or whether you attend a temple or a church or anything else, they're falling a little bit by the wayside. Our society is becoming more and more and more secular. And why? Because they don't know who we are. Because they don't know who we are. Because they can't see what's truly going on in here, which is a resurrection of our own way of thinking every single day, which is a bringing ourselves to a higher level. We've been climbing a mountain just like I did, during this Lenten season, by reimagining who we can be and then being it. This is a place where that happens, and people need to know that. And we open our doors, we fling our doors open, and we have music, and we have people coming in here and enjoying the community. Then we go out and we do things in the community that make sense and allow people to see who we are. You know, if we can't bring the community in here, we got to go into the community. There's a lesson for you there. You can't change at the same level of thinking that created the problem. And so we have to remember all of that as we move forward, as we bring a message that has to be here. This message has to be here. So, does that sound like an Easter message? I think it does. I think it is the Easter message. I think it is the resurrection of not only us here, but of the Christ child on the cross and in the tomb, of the message of love and caring and compassion and understanding. It's a resurrection of that through us. Now, I talked about in this question that was given to me, which was really a fantastic question. What is ours to do? Just that. To bring this to wherever we go, to be that, to show up as that, to be the attraction through that love, care, kindness, and compassion. That's an Easter message that everybody can take hold of. So I have a meditation that I want to do here before we do anything else, before we go into our community. And I call it the Easter altitude meditation, which is really about arising in consciousness. I mean, climbing the mountain, all of us, rising in consciousness, where we can see things differently, where the world is a different place, where we have new and different ideas. You're clear on that, right? Clear on that. You're climbing a mountain, in fact, as we speak. Take a look at the view. So take a moment now to become still. A nice deep breath, if you will. And release it. Could you turn off the lights, please? Allow your body to settle and your breath to soften. Your awareness gently turned inward. There's nowhere you need to go, nothing you need to fix, only a quiet willingness to rise. Feel your breath as it flows in and out. With each exhale, sense a subtle lifting. With each exhale, sense a release. Let go of the weight of the week, the stories, the worries, the unfinished thoughts. Just for now, you're free to rise. Now imagine that you're being gently lifted, as if carried by something unseen, yet deeply trusted. You're rising above the surface of your life, above the immediate concerns, above the noise of circumstance. And as you rise, notice how your perspective begins to change. What once felt overwhelming now appears smaller. What once felt final now reveals itself as part of something still unfolding. From this higher place, you begin to see with new eyes. Not the eyes of fear, but the eyes of spirit. Not the vision shaped by limitation, but the awareness grounded in possibility. Silently, gently, let this truth move within you. I am not confined to appearance. I am not limited by conditions. I rise in consciousness and I see clearly. Now bring to mind something in your life that has felt heavy or unresolved, and from this Easter altitude, look upon it again, not to fix it, not to judge it, but simply to see it from above. Ask yourself, softly, what is trying to emerge here? What idea is coming forth? What new life is being born? And then listen. Not for words, but for a shift, a softening, a quiet knowing. Because Easter is not only about what has been, but also about your greater yet to be. The stone is rolled away, not just from a distant tomb, but from places within you where vision has been blocked. And something within you, quiet, steady, eternal, is rising. Rest in that awareness. Feel it. Allow it. Gently affirm by saying after me, I rise above fear into faith. I rise above doubt into knowing. I rise above limitation into possibility.
I rise above limitation, possibility.
And now please know with me, you and I live from the Easter altitude and from this higher awareness. We see our lives as a sacred unfolding. We see ourselves not as burdened, but as becoming. Now slowly begin to return, carrying this new way of seeing with us. Now softly let this be our closing truth. We do not wait for resurrection. We live it. Today, we all have risen. And so it is. Amen. The Easter altitude, ladies and gentlemen. It is you. Whew. Well, look who's here, Millie. Oh my gosh, Millie is an usheress deluxe. She knows how to handle that basket. She knows exactly what the job is. She is absolutely magnificent. You are incredible, and thank you for this list. We have people who have joined us that you cannot see in this room because they've joined us via live stream. We have Anita Arakawa. We have Sue and Ron. Gosh, we're so glad to have you. We have Charlene, all the way from Tennessee. Bobby, it's good to know you're here with us. We have Audrey. Audrey, we miss you. Your seat's right there, right there. We have Mike O'Brien. Mike, good to know you're with us. It was great to see you the other day. Loved the memorial. Thank you for being such a distinct part of it. We're so happy about it. Austin and Paris are here too, and they're coming in from Las Vegas. You guys, happy anniversary once again. We love you. We miss you. And we hope today is a wonderful day for you. So let's put this back in here. We know that others are going to come too and watch this. It happens all the time. We get well over 100 views by 100 different people each week. And so we know that people will come in, maybe not right now, but they'll come in a bit later. So we're going to do our community giving. And what we do with our community giving is we let our consciousness flow, not just through Unity of Pasadena, our consciousness of giving flow, but through the entire community area, this city, this state, this United States of America, the world. We utilize a consciousness which is helpful to all, but we also utilize these tithes and treasures to benefit people in this community. We are so happy to be able to give and give back to others. So we're just absolutely thrilled to be a part of this. And part of being a part of it is to help our surrounding community. So we say together with our community giving, God is the source of my overflowing supply, and I am grateful, and so it is.
Day by day, day by day.
Oh, dear Lord, three things I pray. To see me more clearly, love me more dearly, follow me more nearly, day by day.
Day by day, day by day.
Oh, dear Lord, three things I pray. To see me more clearly, love me more dearly, follow me more nearly, day by day. Everyone join in.
Day by day, day by day.
Day by day. Oh, dear Lord, three things I pray. To see me more clearly,
Day by day,
love me more dearly,
day by day.
follow me more nearly, day by day. Day by day, day by day. Oh, dear Lord, three things I pray. To see me more clearly, love me more dearly, follow me more nearly, day by day. Day by day, day by day, oh dear Lord, three things I pray. To see me more clearly,
Day by day,
love me more nearly,
day by day.
follow me more nearly, day by day, day by day, by day, by day, by day.
You guys are great. Thank you so much. All right, so we have Barbara coming up. Oh, I'm sorry. We're ahead of ourselves. Wait a minute. I'm ahead of me. Thank you so much. Thank you. We always pray on these tithes and treasures so that everyone knows and we know that we utilize these tithes and treasures with integrity. We're so grateful for these tithes and treasures, and we promise to utilize them in ways that benefit Unity of Pasadena as well as the surrounding community, that allow us to put forward a way of change which is absolutely necessary in today's world. We step into it, for it is ours to do. We're so grateful that we have the support of so many in this project. And so we're so grateful. We just release these words into the law of mind, knowing that these tithes and treasures are used appropriately and for all good purpose. Please join me by saying, and so it is, amen. Thank you, Millian. All right, now, Barbara, come on up.
Good morning. And again, Welcome to you wherever you are on this journey to your greater yet to be. And to reinforce all that we've heard and seen and thought about today, let's review our vision and mission, starting with the vision, which says, envisioning a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. And the mission, transforming lives by living and sharing our inner truth of divine wisdom, compassion, and love using practical spiritual principles. And we have core values, which are creating community, living love, teaching truth, and serving spirit. And we have an Easter luncheon for you, ham provided by the church, and ABC people who are here today, and some other helpers. So our hospitality time will again be one where we can share all of what we've already been exposed to today, and as we look forward to our greater yet to be. And next week, the team whose last name begin with D through J will take the lead for hospitality. And I also want to specifically thank Helen Dershant, your prayer chaplain today, for being so creative with the remnants of what Carol Weike's family had brought to her memorial. I think I told you last week, there were just, dozens of, wonderful big rabbits and all that kind of stuff, and all sorts of Easter decorations, which people were invited to take home, but there were a couple of boxes left, odds and ends and whatnot, and Helen put together some very nice centerpieces, so thank you, Helen. And as lovely as tea time with your chaplains is, it won't happen today because, not knowing how many people were here or going to be elsewhere celebrating with family and so forth, but it'll be back on the first Sunday of May. And your gentle stretch class with Michelle will be happening this Tuesday, but if you're marking your calendars ahead, the second Tuesday this month we have our mental health networking group meeting on that day, so she'll skip the 14th, but she'll be here on this coming Tuesday. And the writing group, before that, Thursday meditation, back to Helen. Every Thursday, 5:45, 6:45, centering prayer and meditation here in this sanctuary. It's a wonderful experience. I see Mary Martinez back there, who's always a member of that, as well as she is our atrium keeper. And since she was busy camping on the day of our annual meeting, I did not get to recognize her, but would very much like to, so thank you. And so do our turtle doves. They are back. Okay, so then the next thing is, yesterday was the first meeting of Jolinda and the writing group, and I hear you had a whole table full, and so if anybody missed it for, some reason, just show up at 10 o'clock next Saturday, right? Okay, if you want any other details, Jolinda will be happy to give them to you. And then, Care, do you want to say anything more about, next Sunday? Oops, where am I going? Too far. Back up. Okay, about the Grace workshop on Mary next week? You don't even have to come all the way up here.
So if you missed this one the last time around, or you haven't been to any of them, this is a really fun workshop to come to. We're looking at goddess archetypes as personifications of divine energy. And what makes Mary very special to me is that she is the archetype that kind of held the space and kept that divine feminine energy alive in history in the West at a time when it was actively being suppressed. And we're going to learn a lot about all of the aspects of divine energy that she personifies and can inspire us with, and why people held on to her the way they did.
Thank you, Karen. And that's really all I have for today, so I'm going to give it back to Greg. We got to figure this out. Left hand, right hand.
Do-si-do, beautifully. Thank you. I remember that. Remember square dancing? They used to have us do square dancing. I don't know if you remember that. You might be too young. They probably didn't have square dancing back then, but boy, it was wild. Alaman left and a do-si-do. So we're going to do the Silent Unity Prayer for Protection, and then we're going to do a song.
I choose love.
I choose love. I choose it too. Fantastic. In order to accomplish this, we're going to stand up for our Silent Unity Prayer for Protection, and that gets us standing also for I choose love. So thank you for spending your Easter with us. We absolutely love you. There's plenty of food out there. Have as much as you like and enjoy. Great time to get to know each other too. So please join me. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever I am, God is. I am divine, and all is well.
Peace in my life is growing because I choose love. Love's always present, it's what I'm made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one tie that binds us that can't be undone. I choose love. Peace for our planet is growing because I choose love. Let love be present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are all of each other. We are one. One choice unites us. Let this be the one.